I use these. These are really, really good ones. Very resonant. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Balabha Girivaridari Gopi Janna Balabha Girivaridari Jasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 9:10. 27. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Navai Veda Mahabhaga Bhavan Kama Visham Gata Tejuna Bhavam Sitaya Yena Nito Dasham Imam Navai Veda Mahabhaga Bhavan Kama Visham Gata Tejuna Bhavam Sitaya Yena Nito Dasham Ivam Navai Veda Mahabhaga Bhavan Kama Vashangata Tejuna Bhavam Sitaya Yena Nita Vashang Imam Vaiveda Mahabhaga Bhavan Kama Vashangata Tejana Bhavam Sitaya Yena Nuta Visham Evam Vaiveda Mahabhaga Bhavan Kama Vasham Gataha Tejana Bhavam Sitaya Yena Nita Dasham Imam Navai Veda Mahabhaga Bhavan Kama Vasham Gataha Tejana Bhavam Sitaya Yena Nita Dasham Imam Na, not, Vai, indeed, Veda, did know, Mahabhaga, oh greatly fortunate one, Bhavan, yourself, Kamavisham, influenced by lusty desires, Gata, having become, Teja, by influence, Anubhavam, as a result of such influence. Sitaya, of Mother Sita, Yena, by which Nita brought into the Sham condition, Imam, like this destruction. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. O greatly fortunate one, you have come under the influence of lusty desires, and therefore you cannot understand the influence of Mother Sita. Now because of her curse, you have been reduced to this state, having been killed by Lord Ramachandra. Purport. Not only was Mother Sita powerful, but any woman who follows in the footsteps of Mother Sita can also become similarly powerful. There are many instances of this in the history of Vedic literature. We find, whenever we find a description of ideal chaste women, Mother Sita is among them. Mandodari, the wife of Ravana, was also very chaste. Similarly, Draupadi was one of the 5 exalted chaste women. As a man must follow great personalities like Brahma and Narada, A woman must follow the path of such ideal women as Sita, Mandodari, and Draupadi. By saying chaste and faithful to her husband, a woman enriches herself with supernatural power. It is a moral principle that one should not be influenced by lusty desire for another's wife. Matrivat paradareshu. An intelligent person must look upon another's wife as being like his mother. This is a moral instruction from Chanakya Sloka 10. Matravat paradareshu paradvaveshu loshtravat atmavat sarvabhuteshu ya pashyati sanvita. One who considers another wife as mother sees another's possessions a lump of dirt and treats all of the living beings as he would himself have considered to be learned. Thus Ravana was condemned not only by Lord Ramachandra, but even by his own wife, Mandodari. Because she was a chaste woman, she knew the power of another chaste woman, especially such a wife as Mother Sita Devi. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Vadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadya Deshatarine. So, today we are learning that the wife of Ravana, Mandodari, was a very chaste woman. And because of that, she was very powerful. If Ravana had been willing to hear from his wife, Mandodari, he would not have gotten in such trouble to actually be killed by Ramachandra. So, this is a very important thing. I know sometimes they say women are less intelligent, but Prabhupada gave one an example. He told one married couple, he said the wife is actually more intelligent than the husband. So sometimes it's said that women have a smaller brain, but as one devotee said, it's not so much what you have as what you do with it, you see. And Prabhupada also said that in our movement, the women are equally, as equal as their brothers. So we shouldn't think, well, women are, some lesser position. No, they're equally positioned. And even here we see sometimes the woman is in greater position than the husband, you see. So actually the more that one is purified, the more it becomes powerful, you see. Doesn't matter, man, woman, white, black, a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, it doesn't matter what is the position. But that person who is more absorbed in Krishna Bhakti, they are more powerful, more potent, more influential, you see. It's actually very amazing the power of one who is purified in Krishna consciousness. There's one purport where Prabhupada says, if one chants the holy name without offense, he becomes Jagat Guru, and under his influence the whole world takes to Krishna consciousness. This is a great encouragement because Prabhupada told us to live with the world, so we have to be the revolution we want to make, you see. Sometimes I say, I got a letter yesterday in the email, someone said, well, how can I influence others to not take this, how to accept the truth of this philosophy? And I'm getting ready to answer them. If you become convinced, you see, you can convince others, you see. So that's the actual position, you see. How can I convince others to accept this as the absolute truth? Why are we not able to do that? Because we're not fully convinced yet. We still have our doubts, you see. So let us become completely convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are His eternal servants. We have no duty except to serve Him and love Him with our every thought, word, and deed in all times, places, and circumstances. This will actually empower us to influence others, you see. Be the revolution you want to make. Revolutionize your consciousness, and you can revolutionize the whole world. So then how do we revolutionize our consciousness? Well, that's very clearly given in the Nectar of Devotion, exactly what we have to do to become fixed up in Krishna consciousness. Vaidhi Bhakti, there's actually three divisions. There's sadhana bhakti, devotional service and practice, devotional service in ecstasy, and devotional service in pure love of God. The first position, pure devotional service and practice, sadhana bhakti has two divisions, Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. I've been explaining this the last few days, actually. It's a very important thing. Beginning Vaidhi Bhakti means, I'm told, spiritual master, the senior devotees tell me, you have to come to the morning program, you should come to Mangal Arati, you should bow down before the deity, you should offer a flower to Prabhupada, etc., etc., etc. I have no inclination to do that. It's apparently totally new to me, but I do it on the instructions of the coming down from Prabhupada, actually. It's coming from Prabhupada through his representative or directly in his books. Or when Prabhupada was here, he directly told us, do this, don't do that, etc. Chant at least 16 rounds of japa every day, give up illicit sex life, meeting, intoxication, and gambling. So we take it, it's the order coming down from the leader, the supreme leader of our movement, and coming through his representatives also. So I do it because I've been told to do that, but after you do it for a while, then you move into Raganuga Bhakti, the second half of sadhana bhakti. Actually, you have some taste. Actually, I wouldn't want to miss my japa because it's so ecstatic to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I wouldn't want to miss Mangal Arati. It's so ecstatic to sing Gurvastakam prayers in the early morning hour. So, this is a wonderful progress on the path of bhakti when you actually get some taste, get some flavor, you see. Actually, this taste and flavor is a natural position. Because actually we already have that taste within us. That's the natural position. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition, it's already there within us, you see. That taste is already there, you see. What is that sloka of one who has the taste? Let's see if I can remember that sloka. Madaram Badaram Vaparasha Vibhor Madarang Badarang Badanang Madaram Madhugandhi Smitamrita Matam Maho Madaram 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 Madaram. One great acharya has given us this nice verse. The transcendental face of Krishna is very sweet, and his body is sweeter still, but the sweet taste of the sweet nectar of the holy name is sweeter. Do I have it backwards? The transcendental face of Krishna is very sweet. His body is sweeter still, but his soft honey-scented smile, yes, is the ultimate sweetness thrill. You see. So here we have the deities. We can see the deities. It's so nice for him, the face, and then the smile also. We can meditate on Krishna's smiling face. You see that soft honey-scented smile. You see. Say, well, for those who actually saw Krishna, they could experience it. We can experience the same thing in the deity, you see. Here we have the beautiful deities, Kishore Kishori. We can actually meditate on his form, his face, and his smile also. So we can experience the same taste just by seeing the deity. It's amazing. I was there with the Prabhupada in Atlanta, and the first day he came, he gave the most wonderful arrival lecture. I remember the second day I was there. I missed the arrival lecture. I came the second day. But one thing I really remember from that second lecture, I was standing there by Prabhupada just on his right side, and Prabhupada was looking down at, we had big, huge deities of Gaura time. And he said, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda have appeared in Atlanta. So we have Krishna and Radharani, they appeared in Atlanta, and here in Toronto. They've actually appeared. This is not some deity. It's actually Krishna and Radharani themselves. They appeared here, you see. So we can actually see them, we can serve them, we can taste the flavor of their transcendental forms, their transcendental smiles, etc. So we should learn how to develop into this nectar, tasting the nectar of Krishna consciousness. There's unlimited nectar here. We have to learn how to taste that nectar. And when we become free from these sinful thoughts, sinful activities, then we can relish the nectar. Right now, our mind is still swirling around with so many material desires. You see? And because of that, we're not really tasting the nectar of the name, the form, the pastimes, the teachings. So the more we become free from all these demoniac, wicked thoughts and feelings, you see, then we can actually relish the sweet nectar of Krishna. That name of Krishna has unlimited nectar within it. I do not know how much, Rupa Goswami is praying, I do not know how much nectar these two syllables Krishna have produced. Because when I vibrate Krishna's name, one mouth is not enough. I need to have many, many, many mouths, because this one mouth can't hold all the nectar. And when the sound vibration of Krishna enters the halls of my ears, I need millions and billions and trillions of ears. There's so many oceans of nectar in Krishna. You see. And when Krishna dances in the court of my heart, my senses are subdued, completely conquered. So we have to learn how to relish that name, Krishna, 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 Krishna. And we chant Hare Krishna, Hare, which is Radharani herself. She enables us, she helps us to enter into Krishna names. That's why we chant Hare, you see. Hare gives us the access. Just like to see some big person, you have to go through the secretary. You just can't walk in to the big man's office. The secretary helps you get in. Well, look, Mr. So-and-so, oh, you have an appointment? All right, you can go in, you see. So Radharani is there to give us that access. This is why in Vrindavan they still go, Jaya Radhe, you see. In Vrindavan they all like to say the name of Radharani, because Radharani gives us that access to Krishna. So we should take shelter of that Radharani, my dear mother Radharani. You see. Please bless me, I can have access to Krishna. You see. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then when we practice this on a regulated level, then more and more, then taste will be there, and finally it can turn into ecstasy. You see. And from ecstasy we go into pure love of God, you see. But the difficulty is we're committing so many offenses. That's the difficulty. These offenses are big, big fences that don't allow us to taste the nectar of the name. This is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying. Actually, he's putting himself in our position. Kambe hambe bolo se dinamar. When will that day be mine? Apadada Gucci, Shudaname Ruchi, Kriba Bole Hambe Hrido Ye Sanchar. When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine. Kambe Hambe Bolo Se Dinamar. When, oh, when will that day be mine? So with this beautiful bhajan of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we can learn a very, very, very valuable lesson. Even though I'm such a neophyte, so caught up in so many nonsense thoughts going through the brain, I speak so many nonsense things, I do so many nonsense things. What is the hope for me? You see? That hankering, when will that day be mine? Vipalamba, that feeling of separation. When will I get the Shuddha Nam? Right now the name is just some kind of ritual I do. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Mechanical. You see, now I'm chanting mechanically. I'm not tasting that nectar. But if we learn to hanker, as Bhaktivinoda is teaching us, you see, then we can start to get that awakening of the nectar. When, oh when will that day be mine, when I actually relish Krishna's name as the sweetest ecstasy, you see. This Ripalamba is a very powerful thing, that feeling of separation. Even in the material world, somebody has a lover, you see, and they very much join me with their lover, but when that lover is separated, they go away somewhere, and now I'm hundreds of miles away from my lover, you see. Then all that hankering increases. When again will I meet my beloved, you see? When, oh when will I meet my beloved again? The feelings of love become more powerful than the separation. So we can learn to feel separation from Krishna Bhakti. That's a very powerful thing. It actually increases the feeling of bhakti within the heart. When will I give up all my offenses? I make so many offenses against the devotees, so many offenses against the name, so many offenses against the deity. It's a very pitiful condition I'm in. So many offenses I'm making. When will I become free from Vaishnava aparad, Guru aparad, Nama aparad, Seva aparad? When will I become free from these things? I'm being tortured by all these stupid offenses I'm making again and again. Shooting off my mouth when I should be quiet. I remember the nice quote from Prabhupada. He said, a gentleman thinks twice before speaking anything. I know we have a tendency to shoot off our mouths, you see, and make so many offenses we can't control our speaking, you see. Mind, words, belly. What is that verse, Rupa Goswami? Vacho vegam mazakrauda vegam mitan vacho vegam. The first thing, it's interesting, the Sanskrit and English, vacho vegam, the word voice. The English word voice, it's vacha. See the connection between English and Sanskrit? Vacho vegam. The urge to speak, shooting off my mouth, you know, blah, 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 shooting off the mouth. Vacho vegam. You see, manasa, krodha vegam, mind, words, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals. You see. When can I become free from just shooting off the mouth? Let my mind run, get me angry over nothing, you see. Vacha vegam, manasa, krodha, jiva vegam, jiva, that eating, you see. Jiva vegam, udaro pasta vegam, the genitals, you see. Such a person, he can make disciples all over the world. And Prabhupada translated something, he can make the whole world his disciples. Can you imagine the power of bringing these Pushyams under control? If I can control mind, words, anger, tongue, and genitals, I can actually make the whole world my disciples. It's just the power of controlling these pushings, you see. So we have to hanker when that day comes. Nowhere will I shoot off my mouth like an idiot. Nowhere I'll get angry over nothing. Or you didn't flatter my false ego, so I get angry. You see, you didn't give me enough respect, I get angry. But what is our philosophy? Even if I'm disrespected, how should I react? You've disrespected me, I disrespect you and back. I'll get you even with you. You didn't respect me, well, I'll get even with you. I'll get angry with you. You didn't respect me properly, you rascal. You didn't respect me properly. You see? No. The Vaishnava philosophy is, even if you offer me the most heavy disrespect, I offer my respect to you, you see. Like we say every morning, you see. We offer our respect and motivations to all the Vaishnavas, you see. So even if the devotee is very, very offensive to me, should I get offensive back? No. I offer you all respect, you see. I offer you all respect. So if we learn how to practice these things, and we actually apply them, there's two aspects. There's theoretical and practical. We can all say, yes, this is true, Prabhu, you're saying what's the right way, I agree with you, it's according to our philosophy, yes, it's true. When it comes to practice, we can't do it, you see. That's the problem. We can all agree it's true, but actually practicing it, we have a hard time. Because we're so habituated to, being uncontrolled senses. We're habituated to uncontrolled senses. You see. So we have to bring the mind back, bring it mind back. Beat that rascal with shoes in the morning and a broomstick at night. Bring the mind back, bring the mind back, bring the mind back where it's supposed to be, fixed in Krishna Bhakti. You see, the real problem is the mind, you see. An uncontrolled mind is a devil's workshop. Bring that mind back. If you can bring your mind to the proper position, the senses, the mind is the central point of all the senses. If I bring the mind back, then the mind, the tongue, the belly, the genitals, the speaking, all these things will be under control. If we can bring that mind back, bring the mind back, bring the mind back to where it once belonged, the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna. That's the key, you see. So, what is that bhajan? By my dear mind, please engage yourself in the devotional service of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Bhajahu re mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Vindure. Govindadas is praying as him. My dear mind, please bring yourself back to devotional service of Radha and Krishna. So we have our sadhana bhakti process. The japa, the Mangal Arti, the morning program, the avoiding the offenses, all of these things are meant for bringing back our mind under control. So it's not difficult if we have full faith in the process. When we have doubts, then it becomes difficult. So how to become free from doubts? One could ask. It's a very simple thing. If you hear from those persons who are free from doubt, that freedom from doubt, then it affects us also. That's by hearing from Prabhupada, hearing those wonderful lectures recorded of Prabhupada, who has absolute conviction, not even a slight tinge of doubt in Prabhupada about this process. By hearing Prabhupada's lectures, by reading Prabhupada's books, you see, we imbibe those qualities. You become like that, or like those with whom you associate, you see. Sanjat Sanjayake Kama. Associate with those who are free from doubt. And then you also become free from doubt. And the opposite side, you associate with those who are full of doubt, you become like that, you see. So what do you do when you go to an office where all the karmi workers who are engaged in illicit sex, meeting intoxication, and gambling? They say God is dead, God doesn't exist, it all came out of a big bang. What do you do in that situation? We have to be in the mood of preaching. Whatever you can do to help them become Krishna conscious, you see. A devotee can go out and deal with karmis all day, selling books on the street, and not be affected by their mentality because he's in the mood of giving them Krishna consciousness. So do whatever you can to give Krishna wherever you can. Give Krishna, give Krishna, give Krishna. The more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna, you see. That's the nectar of preaching, you see. The more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna. So actually it's called a preaching high. We don't need marijuana or LSD, or even they have runner's high, they call it too. We don't need these things to get high just by all of giving Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. You experience a wonderful high that gets higher. There's no more coming down, you see. I remember there was a famous a flyer or whatever in the early days, all the hippies. They were taking LSD and marijuana or psilocybin mushrooms to get high. But they said, chant Hare Krishna, there's no more coming down, you see. They come down off their LSD. They come down, you see. Or you get drunk and then you get sober again. There's coming down after your so-called high. But this chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, get high forever and no more coming down, you see. So people like to get intoxicated, they get high on sex, they get high on drugs, they get high on making money, they get high on power mongers, you see. They get high on all these things, they get elated by all these things, but there's always the drop-off, you see. They get high and they become a millionaire, but they become bored with it, now to become a billionaire to become happy, you see. They're not satisfied, but no matter how much sense gratification they may have, subtle and gross, they cannot go on relishing that. It always burns out at the end, you see. It's always temporary. Material happiness is always temporary. So if you want you want eternal, ever increasing happiness, the only way you can get it is to come to the spiritual platform. You understand what I'm saying? The only way to get happiness that doesn't drop off is to come to the spiritual platform. So we, in this movement, we're teaching people how to be happy forever. And happiness goes on increasing, 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 increasing. Add in manitam for all of eternity. For all of eternity, you can go on getting an ever-increasing happiness that never stops increasing. Can you imagine a happiness that goes on increasing, increasing, increasing for all of eternity? That's Krishna consciousness, you see. So don't cheat yourselves by going after temporary pleasures of this material world. It's idiotic, it's asinine. It's the most foolish, stupid thing you could ever do to run after material happiness. Power, money, sex, or whatever it may be. Don't waste your time and energy going after material happiness. It's suicidal. You're cutting your own throat. It's suicidal. You see. Come to the transcendental platform. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anything, Guru Maharaj, you'd like to add some points? Anybody have some questions, criticisms, whatever, corrections? Now's your chance.
Thank you, Slowdev, for the class. My question is, you mentioned in the sadhana bhakti, one chants the names of the Lord as a ritual. So
one chants what?
The names of the Lord, like Hare Krishna, as a ritual, even though he does not fully taste the nectar of the names.
In the beginning, we chant in the order of the spiritual master. We're not relishing the name in the very beginning. They're doing it as a duty, right?
Yeah. So how long does a practitioner takes to really fully relish the nectar of the name?
How long does it take to relish the name? It could take 5 minutes, or it could take millions of years. 5 seconds, or millions. Actually, it could take 1/11 of a second, or it could take millions of lifetimes. Either we could choice A or choice B. One or the other. That's the answer. 1/11 of a second and millions and billions of lifetimes.
So what is that distinct, why not everyone able to taste the nectar as much as how advanced devotees relish, why practitioners like me are not able to relish to the same degree?
Why we're not, for us neophytes, we can't taste the nectar immediately? Because we're holding on to material attachments. It's like the old example, spiritual master said, I forget the details, but there was some description of somebody said, I can't give up, how to give up my attachment to Maya? How can I free it from Maya's grip? And the spiritual master gave the example, I'm holding on to a tree. He said, please let go of me, please let go of me. I'm holding on to the tree, you see. Maya, please let go of me. We're embracing Maya, telling her to please let go. Actually, Maya's not gripping us, we're gripping onto Maya. So we have to stop gripping onto Maya. My Devi is not holding us in her grip, we're holding onto her. We're gripping her, you see. We have to stop holding on to Maya. Okay? Now you had a question. And then you're next after him.
Srila Gurudev, Mandodari was a very chaste lady.
Yeah.
Just like Sita Devi, very chaste. Mm. But how is it that her chastity had no effect on Ravana?
Interesting point. The chaste wife, but the husband was so demoniac, he didn't want to even hear anything from his wife, you see. Why is that? If too much, one may have the most chaste wife, who gives all good instructions and good example of the husband. But if he doesn't listen to her, he just does his own thing. That was Ravana's position. If the husband is too stubborn and too puffed up and too proud, he won't listen to his wife. So we husbands have to learn not to be like Ravana. If the wife gives good advice, we should hear from the wife. Who are you to tell me anything? We shouldn't be in that mood. We should be in the mood, all right, the wife is getting good advice, well, I should hear from her. Yes. I shouldn't think, I know everything. No, we should be willing to hear from the wife if she's giving good advice. That's right. Isn't it? It's like the example of Prabhupada gave. The wife is more intelligent than the husband. He gave him an example. I forget who they were, but Prabhupada in the early days, he said the wife is more intelligent than the husband. So if the wife is more intelligent, and many times the wives do have better vision than the husbands about different issues. The husband should be not puffed up, he should be willing to hear from someone who has a better idea. Isn't it? Now we have back there.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful session today. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned that we know the truth, but we are so habituated that in that moment
we still embrace untruth.
We still embrace the untruth.
We're so deluded and we're so attached. We're so addicted to untruth. Even though we know it's not true, we still hang on to it. Yeah. I mean, just like I know one person wanted to give up smoking. He knew it was bad, but he couldn't. It was hard for him to do that. He had this addiction to smoking cigarettes, and he knew it was bad, but he was still doing it. That's an example.
So you mentioned for this the solution is to bring the mind back. If we bring the mind, so how to bring the mind back in that moment? So
my force. You stupid rascal mind! Why are you still addicted to sex pleasure? Don't you realize that it's the doorway to hell? You have to just bring it back by force. You see, what is that verse by that famous verse? Yadavani by Jamunacharya Albanju. Yadavani mama cheta Krishna padaravendi nava nava rasadam yunamasit tadavari bhattanari sangame bharasami bhavati mukud. I'm missing it up with bhavati mukud nishti vadamsha. Ever since I engaged in the transcendental loving service of Sri Sri Radha, see, he was a king formerly. And the kings have so many maidens in the palace and they're all waiting for sex with the king. I mean, it's a really full facility for illicit sex. And he was formerly a king, and but now he's become a Vaishnavacharya, actually amazing. From a lusty king to a Vaishnava, he said, ever since I am engaged in the transcendental loving service of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, relishing nava nava rasa, ever increasing pleasure in Krishna's service, and I remember having sex with all those girls in the palace, I spitted it out, you see. I've learned to be good spitters. And if you're really bad shape, have a machine gun spitter. Have a spitting, like a machine gun spitting machine. When your mind is totally attacked by the lusty thoughts, spit, 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 spit like a machine gun. So we have to spit at those damn lusty thoughts, you see. To spit at those damn lusty thoughts. They're the gateway to hell, you see. Gateway to hell. Spit at those damn rascal thoughts. Get out of my brain. Get away from me. Go get millions and billions and trillions of miles away from me, and don't you ever come back to me ever again, you damn lusty thought. It's interesting. Prabhupada pronounced that spite. Because, English is not his native language. He said spite. But actually it is. We do have spite. Because of spite, we spit. We have spite, and we spit at these damn rascal thoughts, you see.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Shila Gurudev. My question is when we, Your Grace mentioned to give Krishna, the more I get Krishna. As and when we get the realizations, being a giver, we tend to immediately give the realizations before assimilating, before inculcating ourselves. So is there a thing to pause preaching, like when I get Krishna, can I process and then start preaching? Is there a thing called pausing preaching?
Baba, can you help me understand what she's saying? Come here and tell me in my ear. Just tell me in my ear, not through the mic, or someone tell me in the ear, directly.
Srila Gurudev, sometimes when we take in information and then we preach it out, is there a moment when we pause and reflect about that and then preach it out?
Of course we reflect. You can also preach to yourself. That's why even in these classes we reflect on it. And reflecting is a very important thing. You have to ponder what you've heard and reflect on it. The more you can meditate on it and reflect it, the more it becomes realized. You see, there's theoretical knowledge and realized knowledge. So you have to ponder on it and say, yes, it's very true, and understand how that applies to you. Pondering is a very important thing. Yeah. It's called introspection. We should be very, very introspective. Yes. Next. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu, you were talking about giving all respect to others, even if they disrespect us. So, while doing that, what should be our inner mood? Because sometimes
While doing that, what should
be our inner mood? Because sometimes we do it artificially, but inside we are burning out of rage.
Yeah. I asked Hinana Maharaj about this, and he said, hate the sin, but not the sinner. That's the answer. So let's say somebody mistreated me and actually wrong according to Scripture. We know it's wrong what they did. So how do you deal with it? Well, you shouldn't hate them. I mean, do you ever make mistakes? Do something wrong? Sure, we all make mistakes. So we shouldn't hold it against somebody if they made a mistake. We should just think, well, there's a mistake, but still I respect them because I make mistakes too. We just see this person's been engaged in devotional service sincerely for many, many years. They're very sincere. They're trying to do their best to serve Prabhupada's mission. So they make a mistake. I'm not to hold it against them because I make mistakes too. Let me respect them in spite of their mistake. I may see it's a mistake and I may be right it was a mistake. But still I should respect them as sincere devotees who are trying to spread the holy name. Did that help a little bit? Yes. Yeah. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. In this verse, we can see that Sita Devi could curse Ravana and cause destruction of his entire kingdom and everything. Is it her chastity to Lord Ramachandra that gave
her own husband?
Gave her power?
She was chaste her own husband.
Is it her devotion to Lord Ramachandra that gave her the power?
The example is she was chaste to her own husband. That chastity to her own husband gave her great power. That's what's actually being stated in the purport.
Okay.
It didn't say chastity to Ram, it said chastity to Ravana. That's what's stated in the purport.
So,
she never deviated from religious principles, going somewhere to enjoy with some other man. Even chaste to Ravana gave her great power.
So Mandodari also has that power.
That's described in the purport. Mandodari, because chastity to her husband, gave her great power.
But that did not attract the mercy of Lord Ramchandra.
Let me help me.
But that did not attract
Is
the
it the
mercy of Lord
chastity
Ramachandra,
or
even though
devotion?
Mandodari had chastity.
Great power that's coming from, what does Krishna say? I'm the strength of the strong. So even chastity one's husband, Krishna gives power to such a woman. I am the strength of the strong, Krishna said. Balang babalatam chaham. So Krishna gives strength to a chaste woman. That's a bad. Anything else? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much for your class. My father mentions a quote that he really likes. He mentions that anything in excess is poison. So does that...
After you tell them, you come and tell me in the ear.
So he mentions anything in excess is poison. Does that apply to devotional service or bhakti?
Now tell me in the ear. Because all the echoes make it hard for me. Yeah.
So my Father mentions that anything in excess is poison. So does that apply to bhakti or devotional service as well?
Can you be excessively devoted to Krishna? How is it possible? No matter how much devoted you're to Krishna, there's still, you can be even more devoted. So there's no question of being too devoted to Krishna. The problem is we're not devoted enough. That's the real problem we all face. I'm not devoted enough to Krishna. And the great acharyas prayed like that to show their example. You see. When will that day be mine? Even Bhaktivinoda is praying, when will I get more devotion? You see. So there's no question of being excessively devoted. It's a bogus concept. You can't be too devoted to Krishna. But in terms of preaching, you can be what's called fanatical. They may see of excessive devotion. But we have to be intelligent in preaching. We have to learn how to connect that person according to their mentality. Because what is the ninth offense? To instruct the glories of the Lord to the faithless. It doesn't mean you don't preach. It means you have to preach according to the mindset of that particular person. How to connect them with Krishna at whatever level you can. Doesn't mean you shouldn't preach. We're ordered to preach by Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada, but we have to learn how to preach in such a way that we can actually connect with them. That's the point.
Yeah. I will ask in Hindi. I will tell in Hindi. He will translate to you in English. Like my question is, Krishna, we do 16 chants round, right? The more rounds we do, the more Krishna pleases, right? Krishna loves more number or the emotion that one can, like I love my mom sitting in India, right? But I can't tell how much I love by numbers. But when she's with me, I can make her feel more lovable by serving her, by doing more and more service to her, right? But like calling mom, 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 doesn't like make me loving her in here and she's over there. Mom, 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 mom. It doesn't make her feel love.
So is it more important to serve Krishna or chant Krishna's name? Because he mentioned his example of his mother, that my mother loves it when I serve her more, but rather than me calling out her name, mom, 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 it won't matter to her. Rather than I should serve her more. So in the case of Krishna, is it chanting the names more better or serving Krishna more better?
Can you summarize it in a brief?
Is it better to chant the names of Krishna, more names of Krishna, or is it better to serve Krishna more?
Actually, chanting is service. Because Krishna says, always chanting my glory. Satadam kirtayanto mam. Chanting is service. You can't separate it. Chanting Hare Krishna is service to Krishna.
I mean to say like one time lovable call, like more lovable call one time, mom.
Well, your mom and Krishna are different.
Yeah, but we have like relation.
Mom is not the same as Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Because your mother is not present in the form of her name. Krishna is present in the form of his name. The difference between you and your mother, Krishna is present in his name, your mother is not present in her name.
But Krishna is mother, father, everything, right? He's not only just mom, but...
So Krishna is both mother and father, right? And he also mentioned about whether it is good to chant more rounds quantitatively, or is it good?
Actually, it's good to chant more rounds, but we're not able to. So therefore, Prabhupada gives us so many other things to do as well. Actually, the real standard is 64 rounds a day. And Prabhupada said that at that time in India, in Vrindavan, the people chanting 120 rounds every day. I don't know if they're still doing it, but when Prabhupada was here, there was people chanting 120 rounds every day in Vrindavan. So this 16 rounds is actually nothing, but even that way I have a hard time. I have to do this. What about the rounds, you see? Are you chanting 16 rounds regularly?
Not regularly, but whenever I get time.
Not regularly, but whenever he gets time.
Like
that means you're not prioritizing Krishna. It means you're not prioritizing chanting Krishna's name. It's not on your priority list. That's what it means. If you make it the number one thing, you'll do it you eat every day, don't you? You take foodstuffs every day, isn't it?
2 times.
Do you, well, maybe today you're fasting, I don't know. But do you take foodstuffs every day? You eat regularly every day? You feed your body every day, right? So but you don't feed your soul every day by chanting 16 rounds. So you're putting eating ahead of more important than chanting. You're not prioritizing your chanting. If you prioritize your chanting, you'll chant 16 rounds a day easily. You're not prioritizing it as number one thing. Right? Isn't it fact? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. I'm saying that not 16, but like sometimes 8, 10, 12, like that. Not like always 16.
He's asking about whether quality of chanting is important than quantity.
Quality is important because quality leads to quantity. If I chant qualitatively, I'll taste so much nectar, my quantity will naturally increase. So quality is very important. It's the number one thing. But if quality is there, quantity will automatically follow like a shadow. It automatically goes along with it. Because you taste so much sweetness, you don't want to stop. Isn't it? Is it not a fact? Yeah. Yes. Anything else? Actually, our time has gone over time. I'm not allowed to do anything else. You want to add some points? Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.